Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Does manifesting feel like a lot of work? Does it feel like you're constantly trying to push a rock up a steep hill? Does it feel like you're constantly having to put forth effort? If it is, it's probably something going on inside your mind that's making it a lot harder than it should be. Manifesting is a process where really obstacles get moved out of your way for you. You don't necessarily have to move them, dig them up, chop them down. That's not how manifesting works. Manifesting is a thing where you focus on the goal, focus on what it is you're trying to accomplish. There's a great number of techniques out there. I've done all sorts of videos on it. But you focus on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and you continue to focus on it. You don't let things stop you. You don't let what's happening right now affect the way you view it. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes most of us make. Early on, we start doing the manifesting techniques. We start seeing coincidences, if you will. Start seeing the synchronicities, right? We start seeing the signs and symbols. We start getting the communications that everything's really good. And oftentimes, what we'll do is we'll start to focus on those, or we'll literally start to try to manifest signs and symbols. And we lose sight of the thing it is that we're actually trying to create. Another thing that we often do is we look at our manifestation as a stopping point, as the end of the road, as maybe a cul-de-sac, if you will, right? Like that's it. I'm done once I get this. I'm done once that happens. And that's also never true. Most of us aren't really thinking, one, long-term. Two, most of us are thinking very short-term, I want the fix. I want the energy. I want it right now. And sometimes there's reasons why we don't get it that quickly, why it doesn't come immediately to us. Sometimes perseverance is part of it. Sometimes there are certain things that need to get taken care of before the final outcome can happen. Say, for example, you're trying to get a new job. Well, maybe it's going to be important to get a new outfit for the interview. And so the interview still hasn't happened. You've put your feelers out. You've put your feelers out. You're trying to get a job, but nothing's coming to fruition. And you're wondering why. I've been focusing on it. I was even getting coincidences. And then all of a sudden, nothing. But let me ask you this. How many coincidences might you have gotten to remind you to go shopping? How many different Macy's commercials popped up on the TV or whatever, Woolworth or whatever clothing company, I don't even know what they might be, right? But how many different opportunities popped into your head where you're like, I should get some clothes. And you're like, nah, we'll get that after we get the raise. We'll get that after we get the job. But the reality is, you might need to do that first. So a lot of the times we focus again on where are the signs, where are the symbols. I don't seem like I'm making any progress. I seem like I'm losing sight. I seem like I'm losing what's going on. It doesn't seem like it's happening. Well, it's not that it's not happening. It's that your focus is out of whack. Continue to stay focused on where it is you're trying to go. Period. Forever. Forever if you have to. You see, we're trying to manifest things because we don't currently have them in our lives. So you continue to focus on where it is you'd like to head towards or where it is you'd like to go. Now, again, you're not going to get to a place, but it's going to lead you in that direction. It's going to continue to help push you towards what you need to do, what you need to accomplish. We've got to be open to the possibilities that there are extra things we need to do. Trying to meet a specific person, again, don't give up, but maybe you're not getting out. There's a lot of people I've seen do this. Now, again, you can technically manifest anything you want. But when you start to try to manifest things that no matter who you are, in your brain, you're like, there is a lot of things that need to go perfect for this to occur. Great example. And again, this is what you're trying to manifest. I'm not trying to step on your toes. What I am going to say is there's probably a better thing or way to get to where you're trying to go that's not as difficult. And I don't just mean from a spiritual standpoint, because nothing's difficult from a spiritual standpoint. What I mean is from a belief standpoint. And the example that I've gotten many times from people is people want to meet a specific person, and they keep trying to manifest them literally coming to their front door knocking on the door, and then they open it up and there's their special person. Now, I've had people tell me this for like movie stars. I've had people tell me this for people that don't live anywhere near them, for people that literally don't even know where they live. And they're like, yeah, but it's manifesting. Anything's possible. Sure, but inside your mind, you're like, this dude doesn't even know where I live, and I'm manifesting him coming to my front door? Sure, it could happen. He could break down in front of your house, need to use your phone. Yeah, it can happen. Unquestionably. It is probably the hardest way to try to manifest somebody into your life. Instead, let's imagine being together. Let's imagine face-to-face contact. Let's imagine a discussion happening between us. Let's imagine us talking. You can even go texting, but I like the face-to-face. I think it's more important. It really helps create that reality. It really helps kind of solidify what it is that you're trying to create, which is the love, right? And when you see two people, when you can look into someone's eyes and you can see their soul, right? That's powerful. So rather than trying to get somebody to come to your front door, that may never happen. And when you first started doing it, you were like getting signs all over the place, right? You were seeing this person on TV or whatever. But then, well, time happens and you start to realize, well, they've still not showed up at my front door. I must be doing something wrong. I must not be manifesting correctly. This is never going to work. And again, our focus gets out of whack. I'm telling you, I've been manifesting. Well, we always constantly manifest. So it's not like I've been manifesting for a period of time. I've been manifesting my entire life. I've been consciously manifesting since I was about 17. So for a long time. I've played with it a bunch. I've manifested people. I've manifested jobs. I've also failed to manifest a few things. It happens from time to time. Not uncommon. But what I've also found, every time that I've, quote, failed, actually got led into something else, and I ended up changing my mind rather than failing. Sometimes we want to manifest things that may not be the best thing for us. Great example for me, earlier on, wanted to manifest gobs of money. Gobs of money. But the problem is if you hand someone gobs of money, then they're not necessarily going to be hungry for work. They're not necessarily driven to do whatever they need to do to get to that next spot. And so sometimes what we want, we get, just not when we ask for it. I have to say my financial situation has changed dramatically since I initially was starting to try to manifest money. And I've continued to push myself and continued to grow myself and continued to evolve myself. Even though I didn't see the ducats in the wallet. I didn't see the piles of cash raining down around me, but I kept going. You know why? Because I know this works. I have no doubt in my mind this works. So I continued to push forward. My focus is always on where I'm trying to go. I could care less if I'm not there yet. Doesn't matter. Of course I'm not. Really, if you think about it, of course you haven't manifested it yet. You're sitting here watching manifesting videos trying to figure out how to manifest it. So yeah, that's fine. That's awesome. That's not a failure. And the more we realize it's not a failure, the more we realize this is all part of the process. It's all part of gaining trust in yourself, gaining trust in your abilities to actually affect your reality. You see, that's actually, from a soul level, far more important than whether or not you end up dating Jimmy, or whether or not you get that raise, or whether or not you get that new outfit, or find $1 million, or whatever. It's actually way more important. You know, that adage they always say, you can give a man a fish, you can feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you can feed him for his whole life. That's what we're learning here. The process to feed ourselves for our whole lives. Not just this one thing that we're trying to manifest. Now, I know in a lot of cases people are like, wow, I love so-and-so, I miss them. Right? I get that. And you want to make the pain stop. And ask anybody that's been through breakups. The pain is part of the process. The pain is part of what we're doing. It's not good. We don't like it, but it also serves a purpose. Lets us know what we don't want to accomplish. Gives us the opposite feeling of what it is, a feeling like I'm living in the wish fulfilled, right? It's like the opposite of that. So we've got to get out of that feeling. Why? I want the pain to stop, and for that to happen, so-and-so's got to come back into my life. See, that's not how it works. When the pain stops, when you're able to get the pain to stop, then so-and-so can come back into your life because now there's not this weird, awkward energy. And that's, again, the whole process is what really matters. You can manifest whatever it is you want. I recommend we stick to things, or at least stick to ways that are more possible than others. Like I was saying, where somebody come into your front door, instead, imagine seeing them. Imagine talking to them. And then make sure every day or every other day or once a week or whatever, you make sure you get out. Go someplace. Go to the store, hopefully. Go to a coffee shop. Go to a restaurant. Go someplace. Go down to the park and just watch the birds. Go out where you can now have life attract things to you. When you're locked up inside your house trying to manifest somebody coming to your front door, well, you really limit universe. And although sometimes it does happen, most of the time it doesn't. Play the odds. Help your manifestation out. Don't make it impossible for yourself. Again, another example. People like, I want to be able to fly, so I'm trying to manifest wings. Okay, theoretically, you can manifest anything you want. I'll give you that. Do I know anyone with wings? No, never once met anybody in my life with wings. Never, not once. Met people trying to grow them, but never once met anyone with actual wings. So if flying is what you really want to do, don't force the universe to make it happen a specific way. How about you just say, I'd like to be able to fly. And either A, you're getting your pilot's license, B, you're hopping on a plane, C, I don't know, someone just pushed you out of an airplane and you're going to feel like you can fly for a short period of time. I'm kidding, of course. But rather than making it impossible on yourself, make it easier. Because when it's easier in your mind, then it's easier in reality. If it's hard in your mind, you're going to have a hard time in reality. Don't get hung up on the signs and what you're seeing. It doesn't matter. If they stop, well, continue focusing on where you'd like to go, but also be mindful that maybe there's something that you need to adjust. Maybe the doubts you keep having in your mind are part of the problem. Maybe the fact that you're now manifesting signs and symbols and you've lost track of the thing it is that you're actually trying to create, and that's why you've lost seeing these signs and symbols. That could be a part of it. But the thing is, one, there's no such thing as failure. Failure is when you give up. Failure is when you stop. We're going to continue to do this forever. We're going to continue to push forward forever. You're going to continue to manifest forever. And hopefully, you'll continue to consciously manifest every single day of your life. Failure is part of this process. It's not permanent. Failure is a moment. Failure is a moment. We pick ourselves up. We dust ourselves off. We continue towards our focus. You're going to fail. You have to fail. You're supposed to fail. But you don't stay in failure. You take that failure and you let it make you stronger. You let it show you how to be stronger. You let it help guide your thoughts into the next step. Right? I've been doubting all this stuff. Whoa, what is it we're trying to do here? Dan, we're trying to get A to B. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was worried about all these other things. Let's get back on track. And you will, and you'll start to see the signs and symbols again. Don't get hung up on them. This is not why we're manifesting. We're not manifesting to create signs and symbols. We're manifesting to get to wherever our focus is on. So if it's that relationship, if it's that better job. In fact, once you get that promotion, don't stop there. Continue to imagine the next step, the next promotion. Instead of imagining that first date with that individual, imagine your 20th date. Imagine your 1-year anniversary. Imagine your wedding night. Imagine things that take you past that very first instance. Yes, it's good to have that first instance as a manifesting. I personally like to manifest multiple scenes. I like to think of multiple scenes, especially when it's people that are involved in my manifestation, be it a job, a relationship, right? I try to manifest multiple scenarios because it helps build the story. It helps build the picture. It helps make it more real in my mind. And if I can believe it in my mind, it's going to happen in reality. It always does. No reason to ever doubt that. Keep pushing forward. Never see failure as a bad thing. It's a good thing. And also understand failure is a temporary moment. Failure only lasts as long as you let it. Let the failure show you how to continue to move forward. Let the failure show you that all you got to do is pick yourself up and try again. And that is powerful. You'll change your entire life. You'll manifest things you didn't even realize you could manifest. You'll start seeing things change in your life in places you didn't even realize you were working on. Stand strong, keep pushing. Keep focused on your goals and never stop. Never. Even once you've acquired that first round of goals, great. Now what's your next goal? Don't let that stop you. Your dreams are all right in the palm of your hand. Grab them, own them, have them, and that is exactly what you'll experience. Dan, Radio Style.